I'm going to do a little shop update here. It's going to start out, I got a gimbal for the camera, so it's going to start out with me making a video of what I want to do with the bandsaw, where I want to place it in the shop, and the reasons why I want to place it there. Then it's going to go into the tractor, my tractor rebuild project. So I will, in the title, description title, I will put the times of that tractor. So if there's people that don't want to see anything about the tractor, you can skip over it. But and then the end is a little segment on the drill press, some news on the drill press. So
Okay,
hope
so
you enjoy.
I'm going to walk around the shop a little bit with a handheld camera. It's on the gimbal. The instructions that came with the gimbal are very lax in explaining anything about how the gimbal works or anything else. Now, I should tell you that knowing the fact that I bought this thing off of somebody, so maybe there was a much more detailed instructions off of it on it and before he got it, and he just didn't have them or forgot to send them with him. What I'm going to talk about is I'm over here next to the front overhead doors, and what I'm thinking about doing is where those two tractor tires and the smaller tires are piled against the wall is putting the bandsaw back in there. And the kind of the reason why I'm thinking about doing that is because over where I have the existing bandsaw, I have a little bit of an issue with space. I mean, it's usable wall space over here, but the biggest issue is that the floor, well, one of the issues is the floor pitch. Over by the vertical mill, the floor is at a high spot over there. So it's all pitched down towards this drain down here. And what the problem is that, I mean, you've got that problem, but the other and the biggest problem is in order to get long stock into the bandsaw, you would have to pull it out so that the stock would run down that aisleway outside of the vertical mill, so that it kind of would run down this aisleway, which would put that bandsaw kind of way out into the floor area, away from the wall, and just take up too much space. So by putting it over in the front where I kind of showed you at the beginning where those tractor tires are piled up against the wall, it eliminates, that's kind of dead wall space over there because it's in between those overhead doors. It'd be a good spot for it, but it would also provide me pass-through access to get longer stock into it and to get, and the other thing, get longer stock into it, and the other thing, it's on more of a level floor plane. Even though that floor is slanted down towards this drain, the stock going into the bandsaw would be perpendicular to the slope of the floor. So, you know, I could level the bandsaw, and it would be easier to level the feed tables and the outboard table from the bandsaw, which I plan on building a little outboard tables for it. But that's just one thing that I wanted to share with you. And the other thing that I'm doing here is kind of a test out of this gimbal. So one of the things that I want to talk about is the tractor. There's probably some of you that are
getting discouraged with my videos and not posting another tractor part or another tractor video. I've been really busy, and it's not that I'm neglecting it, it's just that there's other things that are kind of more pressing than the tractor right now. I don't have a set time frame where I have to have this tractor done. And I was just kind of hoping that I could work on it kind of at my leisure and then post things to come. So let me not call it work on it, but I have been doing some things. I've got the indicator set up to check the backlash in the gears and everything. I want to go through that rear end fully, and I want to get this seat post casing up and off of the floor and kind of look at the components underneath it, get that rod issue resolved so that I can get it back into the tractor. But I do have to, I've got the gasket for the plate, but I need some other gaskets, and some of the gaskets and O-rings that I need is for that hydraulic underneath the seat hydraulic unit sitting on top of that seat post plate. I've got to get that stuff together. I still haven't had a chance to get down to my IH dealer and get the gaskets and or even look for the manual that one of my viewers told me would probably be more detailed on the 1066. So just kind of a little update, just to tell you where the tractor is. Okay, so here we are on the drill press, and there's the primary one that still has the automatic feed on it, and the automatic feed works fine. And here, now I don't have a belt for the second one. I've got one ordered and it's supposed to be coming in today, but there's the motor running on that. So here we are, kind of on the got both motors running at the same time. Now I'm not sure if I could put them the way it's wired, the way that I wired it. One piggybacked off the other. I'm not sure that I could run them under load at the same time, but I'll find out. But anyways, there it is, up and running. Now I've got to do is get it cleaned up, and I will get it cleaned up and I get it painted and moved over. But I'll bring you back.